got you, April, right? Yes. Sharon, good now, love. Who else has popped in here? Nikki, good now. Trina, good now. Donna, good now. Caitlin, who have I missed? Jazz, good now, love. Thea, good now. And the bubbles aren't scrolling, so if I missed you, definitely not in my intent. They'll start scrolling at some point, and I'll be able to see you and say good now to you. Good now to anyone on Tubular or LinkedIn. Good now, Marina. I love y'all checking in with each other. It's so cool. Love to see that. Welcome all to week 14 of this wonderful, wonderful book. I'll give it just about one more minute, then we'll get started. Good now, Monica. And I'll give my spiel. I need my agua. Thank you for the hearts already. I love it. Good now, Lisa. Good now, Deirdre. Yum, yum, yum. Light and love to all in the tribe here. Thank you, Haley. Received and reciprocated. Yogi, good now. Top of the morning to you. Looking for my stool. I like to put my feet up. All right. I'm going to get this potty started. Thank you. Some days it cooperates and some days it doesn't. All right, my loves. Oh, stretch if you want to stretch. Well, that's not typically a part of the live. Apparently, I needed it. Okay. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for all of you. You're gonna rock that panel. Thank you. It's cool. I'm excited about it. We kind of had two like rehearsal talks, and I'm like, the lady who's hosting it, she's like, you're just so comfortable just talk. I'm like, I do this every day. I'm so used to just talking to you all about all the things, and just so it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun, and it's free if y'all want to register and attend, so to speak. I did put the link in my profile. Oh yeah, free donation based, I'll say. If you want to donate, you can. It'll go to all of the teachers on the panel. I forgot to pull the book up, the image book, the book image. Imagine. This picture. Copy image address. For anyone who's like, how do you do all these things? All right, make that small-ish. And why are you being difficult? Okay, and share. Hopefully this is the right screen. Nope. Well, now you can read the book. Let's see. I was trying to. I wish it let me do the screen before I do that. Nope. Not it. Now you can see y'all. Here we go. Safari. That is not what I was doing. What are we doing? I know what I did wrong. That's funny. My brain is clearly not braining this morning. That's what I get for being early. Even though I'm usually on here at 5:30 in the morning Eastern. All right. How's that look? Small enough? Okay. There we go. All right, who am I miss? Good now, fine friends from Robin. Awesome sauce. I see some lovely returning faces. Kathy, good now, love. Christine, good now, love. Patricia, Tisha, is that how you call it? Good now, love. I like that you put that in there. Good now, John. I think I've said good now to all the bubbles. Good now to anyone whose bubbles I don't see. Let's get this party started. We are on chapter 14 of the book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. I am narrating it at the request of this beautiful family here. I just want to put it out there. Good now, Colleen. It's been a while. I'm here in Denver. Wow, lovely. It has been a while. Good to see you. Enjoy Denver. Are you there, like living there or just visiting? Good now, Helen. And who's this key cat? Julie. Good now, Julie. Okay, I'm gonna get us started. Okay, cool. For those joining for the first time, I just put this out there. I'm not a licensed mental health professional. This book can put a mirror up, and it could sometimes be a little triggering as you recognize yourself in some of the things that you're like, I would like to change that. So all I ask is that if anything becomes too much for you, please do what you need to do to take care of yourself. If that means leaving the live, if that means posting in a chat, I will warn you, the folks who hang out with me love people. So if you do post in the chat, you will get lots of love and support. So whatever works for you, for your well-being, please do that. Good now, Kevin. Who else has popped? Bertha, good now, love. Marilyn, good now. Twyla, good now. So this book also, sometimes he uses examples that are a bit dated, so just take it for what it's worth. Take the lesson from it rather than just the example itself, because it could be like, wait, what? It's still a good lesson though. Good now, Angie. I'm gonna get some more water. And what else do I normally say? Who's been hanging out with me for a minute? Just want to make sure I cover all the bases. If it comes to mind, I'll say it as I'm reading. I'll pause this and go ahead and get us reading today. And like I said, today at noon Eastern, I will be on a panel about digital toxicity and mental health. You're welcome to join. It is free to join. The link I put in my profile. I'll just make sure it actually shows up. I added it. I did not double check that it stayed. That would not be, helpful if it didn't. Preview. Okay, yeah, I put it as the first link because it's just today. After today, it'll be gone. Although you can also catch the replay if that's something of interest or something you would need to share with someone. It's hosted by the Wellness Universe, which is a whole other platform for wellness. But I won't go into that. I am going to get into this book. The chapter of the day is Reducing Stress and Physical Illness. I'm excited to read this again. And for anyone joining for the first time, the last time I read this book was well over 10 years ago, and I'm a whole other person since then. So I've been excited. Good now, April B. I've been excited to reread it with you all. So without further ado, let us get started. I feel like my mouth is mouthy. If y'all hear mouth sounds, let me know. I'll go get a green apple. That's why you shouldn't drink coffee with oat milk before you have to record. Or anything sweet for that matter, especially cow's milk. Okay. Psychological aspects of stress and proneness. That is not what that reads. Oh, that's my other warning. I said, what else do I normally say? Thank you for your patience as I read words that are sometimes not there or not the right order, and I will correct myself throughout the reading. So thank you for patience in that. Sometimes I have commentary in between the reading, and I was holding back, but I've been invited or requested to go ahead and share, so I will do that. If that drives you insane, I apologize. But here we go. Let's try this again. Psychological aspects and stress proneness. Pretty sure I didn't say that right the first time. Though available to all of us, the state of peace is reached by very few people. The inner experience of most people is marked by constant stress. Most of the stress that results in emotional and physical disorders in our society is psychological in origin. Our response to stress depends on our stress proneness, and, as we pointed out earlier, this is directly the result of the amount of suppressed and repressed feelings we have accumulated. The more emotional pressure that is surrendered and let go, the less vulnerable we are to the stress response and stress-related diseases. This is good info from my capstone paper that I'm writing. Okay, the main stress to the majority of us most of the time is not due to external stimuli, but to the pressure of our own suppressed emotions. These suppressed emotions become the primary stressors so that, even in a calm external environment, we are still subject to chronic internal stress. We can observe that the external stress factors are merely the straws that eventually break the camel's back. The main stress load is what we carry around with us all the time. The psychological programming in our society is so extensive that, for most people, even relaxing and enjoying a vacation is a problem. Guilt says we should be doing something else. This is disappointment when immediate. Oh, there is. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. There is disappointment when immediate relaxation does not occur. There is restlessness and the endless pursuit of fun activities to avoid the pain of facing our own inner self. Most busy executives begin to secretly look forward to getting back to work while they are on vacation. They may outwardly grumble about their heavy workload, but when they return to the custom routine, they feel normal again. The effects of suppressed and repressed feelings plus stress precipitating factors are responsible for most emotional and physical illnesses. There is an emotional psychological component to all diseases, and because of this, it is possible to reverse the disease process by removing the internal stress factors. This accounts for many recoveries reported daily from serious and potentially fatal illnesses by the use of emotional spiritual techniques. Many cures take place after all medical methods have failed. One reason is that at this stage of "there's nothing else we can do," the patients give up, and they seek and accept the true basic nature and cause of their illness. Acknowledging and letting go of suppressed feelings progressively reduces a person's stress proneness, thereby lowering the vulnerability to stress-related problems and illnesses. Most people who learn and practice the letting go technique notice a progressive improvement in physical health and vitality. Medical aspects of stress. Stress is our response to a perceived threat, real or imaginary, to our security or bodily equilibrium. The stimulus may be internal or external. It may be physical, mental, or emotional. Basic research into the body's physical response to stress was done by Dr. Hans Selye and Dr. Walter Cannon. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Selye, I'll say Selye, described what he called the general adaptation syndrome. In response to a stressful stimulus, the body first goes through an alarm reaction, then secondly a stage of resistance, and if the stimulus continues, it may result in the third stage of exhaustion syndrome. The alarm reaction occurs via the pathway of the cerebral cortex, hypothalamus, adrenal glands, bloodstream, cortisol, and adrenaline. I was about to get the brain out. In addition, there is the release of brain hormones and stimulation of the body's sympathetic nervous system. The adrenaline then goes to all of the body's organs and prepares them for fight or flight. Many people, especially in big cities, learn to live off the adrenaline high of constant challenges. The threat to survival of the intense competition keeps the adrenaline flowing. Typically, they get depressed on weekends or vacations. They are addicted to excitement and abnormal stimulation. They get used to the semi-euphoria induced by the high levels of cortisol. The second stage, that of resistance, is the body's attempt to restore homeostatic balance. It involves hormonal changes and shifts the metabolism and mineral balance. Commonly, there is a sodium accompanied by water retention in the tissues. Some executives, for instance, develop swollen ankles as the week goes on, and then on Friday evening they have frequency of urination. They complain of a letdown due to the sudden decrease in the level of cortisol hormone. In addition to a somewhat euphoric effect, cortisol has an anesthetic effect. Therefore, during the letdown period, low cortisol production, weekenders may notice physical symptoms that were ignored during the excitement of the work week, and they may complain of many aches and pains over the weekend that weren't experienced while at work. Good now, Madeline. The third stage of exhaustion, if stress continues unabated beyond the capacity of the body's coping mechanisms, eventually they begin to fail. The state of adrenaline exhaustion sets in. The body's defenses have become too weak to counter the effects of stress. There is suppression of the immune system. The body's organs begin to show pathologic changes due to the long exposure of stress hormones. The body's energy stores have become depleted, leading eventually to disease and finally death of the organism. During the acute alarm reaction, the stomach's motility halts, digestion stops, and the blood supply to the stomach's lining is decreased. As stress continues, due to imbalance of the nervous system and hormone changes, hyperacidity and overproduction of digestive enzymes occur. The heightened digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid, acting on the weakened gastrointestinal lining result in ulceration, producing stress ulcers. With continued stress, the ulcers may hemorrhage or perforate and precipitate a medical catastrophe. In other cases, the reaction to chronic abnormal stress may be failure to produce hydrochloric acid or enzymes, resulting in chronic indigestion or poor nutrition. Besides the gastrointestinal tract, the cardiovascular system also reacts to stress by an alarm reaction. As the stress becomes chronic, the heart, blood vessels, and kidneys may go through damage resulting in hypertension and/or coronary disease. The stress is eventually responsible for strokes, heart attacks, and hypertension, all of which are major causes of death in the U.S. Energy system response to stress and acupuncture system. The body has 3 nervous systems. The voluntary network of nerves under the conscious control and distributed primarily to voluntary muscles, the involuntary or automatic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic, which is usually unconscious and which controls the body's organs and physiological functions such as heartbeat, blood flow, and distribution, digestion, and body chemistries. And then the acupuncture system, which transmits the bioenergy to all the body structures and internal organs. This third system is least known in Western medicine, but long understood in Eastern medicine and society. In the acupuncture system, there is a flow of vital energies throughout the physical body via the body's invisible energy blueprint. This energy system is described as having 12 main channels over the surface of the physical body, down the 12 major acupuncture meridians. From these channels, there are many tributaries leading into the body's various organ systems. Abnormal distribution of energy into these meridians results in dysfunction of the affected organs and eventually the evolvement of the disease process. This vital bioenergy is the very flow of life itself. It is very quickly reactive to stress. This bioenergy reacts from instant to instant due to fluctuating factors in our lives, which are the changing patterns of our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. The conventional measurement of the body's medical reactions is relatively slow. A fleeting thought, which may be accompanied by an emotional pang, does not bring about a measurable change in the body's blood pressure or pulse in response. However, it instantly registers in the bioenergy system where a variety of rapid changes can be observed by scientific, psychic, and clinical methods. The overall balance of the body's acupuncture energy system is regulated by the activity of the thymus gland. The bioenergy system is intimately connected to the body's immune system via the thymus gland. Chronic stress weakens the body's immune system, suppresses the thymus gland, and throws the bioenergy out of balance. Strengthening the thymus gland or taking thymus supplements rebalances the bioenergy system. An extensive explanation of this is found in the books Behavioral Kinesiology and Life Energy by John Diamond, MD. I can add those to the lettuce docs if y'all are interested. Interventions to alleviate stress. Research at UCLA by Liebskind. I can't tell you. It's a last name I'm not pronouncing very well. And Shavit during the 1980s further clarified the relationship among stress, suppression of the immune system, and the development of cancer by showing the intermittent stress on the release of the brain opiates known as endorphins. Oh, thank you. Enjoy, Robin, the landscaping. Okay, Madeline got it. Stress in the form of intermittent shocks suppress the immune system. When the immune response is strong, there is the release of brain's endorphins, so-called anti-cancer killer cells, which attack and kill young growing tumor cells. But when the immune activity is suppressed and there is a reduced presence of endorphins, the activity of the anti-cancer killing cell diminishes. The report in Science 223, pages 188 to 190 states, our findings support the view that the central nervous system, by modulating immune function, exercises some measure of control over the inception and development of disease. The report goes on to say that a feeling of helplessness has been related to reduced anti-cancer killer cell activity and increased tumor growth. Depression in animals, as well as humans, lowers the immune response, and this helplessness has to do with how much control the person and animal feel they have over stressful events. Those findings help explain why depression and a sense of helplessness are associated with cancer. Further research confirms that the stress response was found to be a principal precondition for physical illnesses in animals and humans. Reference Sapolsky 2010. The overall effect of stress on the immune system results in the blocking of the body's immune system because of the production of autoantibodies. If these autoantibodies are themselves blocked, the immune function resumes once again. Therefore, the blocking of the immune system is reversible. For example, research done at the Pasteur Institute of Paris has resulted in the so-called Bogomol's serum. I'm gonna have to just put all these terms somewhere for y'all, which, when injected intradermally, that's in the skin, results in reactivation of the immune system. This treatment is called the IBR, Immunobiologic Rejuvenation Treatment. A small amount of serum is injected within the skin on 3 successive days and results in rapid reactivation of the immune system. That's cool. Reactivation of pro-health body responses is also seen in non-medical interventions, as in the correlation of meditation practice with the reduction in stress and depression. Research done on college students, for example, found that meditation led to a decrease in their inflammatory stress reaction, which was linked to the alleviation of their depression. The study found that students who participated faithfully in a 6-week meditation training experienced improved immune system functioning. The students in a control group who received only educational information about stress without the inner technique showed little to no physiological or psychological improvement. Reference Pace et al., 2009. Unpublished research studies I always forget to turn that speaker off. Unpublished research studies during the 1980s, for which I served as clinical advisor, showed a greater effectiveness of inner techniques in contrast to purely medical methods of stress reduction. The medical methods, such as progressive relaxation, have a positive effect. However, the ameliorative effect on heart rate and blood pressure is greater and more sustainable if inner mechanisms are consciously applied. These scientific results will not be surprising to people who have learned to use inner technologies such as the letting go technique, which is a process of internal surrender that can be applied to any and all situations. They report that they are better able to handle stress because they are calmer in difficult situations after learning how to let go of negative feelings as they arise. Kinesiologic testing. Kinesiology, or muscle testing, is a rewarding subject for studying the direct relationship between the mind and the body. The basic testing procedure is now relatively widely known as and is both highly informative and simple to learn. Diagnosticians use kinesiologic methods to test the balance of the acupuncture system, the acupuncture meridians, and the overall functioning of the body's bioenergy system. Kinesiology deals primarily with muscle testing, as sudden drops in bioenergy are indicated by rapid weakening of the body's musculature. This response can be elicited by any negative energy that comes within the aura vicinity of the bioenergy system. The stimulus may be physical, such as artificial sweeteners, fluorescent lights, synthetic foods, and fabrics, and certain rhythms produced by heavy metal or rap music groups. The most notable stimulus for our understanding is, however, the immediate weakening effect of a negative thought or feeling. A negative thought or feeling instantly weakens the body and creates an imbalance of the body's energy flow. I use muscle testing when I do my ease method with you all. It's just a collective muscle testing. Because this kind of muscle testing so beautifully and dramatically illustrates the connection between mind and body, it is worth the effort to know of the procedure and experience it personally. Therefore, we will go into some detail about the testing procedure itself, which is extremely simple and requires only 2 persons. It also can be done by yourself. It is important to note that both the tester and the one being tested must be over the consciousness level of courage, calibration of 200, in order to obtain accurate responses from the testing procedure. See Appendix B if you have the book. That is, those who are dedicated to truth are shown the truth. Oh, thank you, Yogi. I appreciate that support. I appreciate it. As I'm like bumbling over the words, hopping on a different live. Thank you so much for this. You're so welcome. I appreciate you. And if you need to catch the replay, you can. I know this is very sciencey, this chapter. Kinesiologic testing technique. The test subject stands with one arm stretched out to the side and raised to the shoulder height. The second person serves as a tester using 2 fingers. They'll usually put it on here, but they're standing behind them. The tester presses down quickly for a few seconds on the back of the tester's wrist to get a feel for the muscle strength. At the same time that the tester presses down, he asks the test subject to resist with all his strength. It is important in doing this that the tester does not smile at the subject. Usually if you stand behind, you can't see him anyway. And there should be no talking or music at the moment. It is best to have the test subject view a neutral object such as a blank wall or shut the eyes. After several trials, the tester will get a feel of the strength of the subject's muscle. For the demonstration, simply have the subject think of an emotionally unpleasant situation or hold in mind an unpleasant person. While the subject holds the unpleasant thought in mind, the tester presses down again for a few seconds to test the strength of the subject's arm, which is still being held out horizontally. At the same time, the test subject again resists with all his strength. It will be observed dramatically that there is a sudden major weakening of the deltoid muscle, which is a shoulder, which with testing will indicate a loss of about 50% of muscle strength, even if you try to resist. I don't know if anybody's done this test, but when I was learning the energy work that I do, this was one that we learned. We even did a test by someone else thinking negative thoughts about you, and it's pretty much the same because energy is transferable. Okay, now have the subject think of someone he loves and retest. He will instantly go strong. This is a dramatic and highly valuable phenomenon to experience and witness. The test can be repeated with various negative objects held in the subject's other hand in their mouth or placed on the crown of their head or at the solar plexus. To do this, have the subject look at a fluorescent light or a television commercial at the moment of testing, or test the difference between the effect of classical music versus heavy metal or rap. Homemade bread versus machine-made bread. Sugar versus honey. Synthetic fabrics versus cotton, wool or silk. Junk food versus organic health food. Synthetic vitamin C versus organic rose hips vitamin C. Additional tests can be done for individuals' reactions to diet sodas, cigarettes, soaps, favorite foods, and other objects with which we come into frequent contact. As various objects and the effects of thoughts and feelings are tested, it soon becomes obvious that everything in the universe has a vibration and that the vibration has a strengthening or weakening effect. For instance, to demonstrate the weakening effect of a negative energy food, such as artificial sweeteners, it's not necessary to place the food in the mouth. It will have the same weakening effect if placed in the opposite hand or at the top of the head. You can even think about it and it'll still do it. When a person uses the mechanism of surrender and lets go of the negative feelings, the muscle testing we have described will change from weak to strong. As negative thoughts or belief systems are surrendered, they no longer have the power to deplete our energy. This is a basic law of consciousness. We are subject only to what we hold in mind. The body will respond to what we believe. If we believe that a certain substance is bad for us, then it will usually test weak with muscle testing. The same substance will make another person who believes that is good for them strong. I'm like, I want to do a whole experiment with that. And like, McDonald's hamburgers are like one of the biggest ones. Like, if I believe this is healthy for me and I keep eating it, will I not get unwell? Like, I'm curious. But who wants to risk their health figuring that out? Anyway, there's got to be another way to test that. That has always been a question in my mind. What is stressful to us, therefore, is primarily subjective. Muscle testing is responsible to Did I read that right? Muscle testing is responsible to unconscious belief systems as well as conscious ones. Testing often reveals that a person unconsciously feels or believes the opposite of what they think they consciously believe. The person, for example, may consciously believe they want to heal, but unconsciously be attached to the payoffs of illness. A simple muscle test reveals the truth of the matter. That is what I do when I do the clearing with you all. Most of the time, y'all are kind of cognizant of some of the things that you're dealing with, but when the ones hit you that you didn't expect, you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I do it too. I still go through it. The relationship of consciousness to stress and disease. As we have seen, stress proneness and vulnerability are directly related to our general level of emotional functioning. The higher we are on the scale of consciousness, the less we respond with stressful reactions. We can take a simple incident from everyday life and illustrate the differences in reactivity. Let's say, for example, that we have parked our car, and just as we get out, the car parked in front of us backs up into our car with a thud. Our bumper and the front of the fender are dented. Here is what the different levels of consciousness might sound like. If you're in a level of consciousness of shame, how embarrassing. I'm such a lousy driver. I can't even park a car. I'll never amount to anything. Guilt. I had it coming. How stupid I am. I should have done a better job of parking. Apathy. What's the use? Things like this always happen to me. I probably won't collect on insurance anyway. There's no use talking to the guy. He'll just sue me. Life stinks. Grief. Now the car is ruined. It will never be the same. Life is grim. I will probably lose a bundle on this one. Fear. This guy is probably furious. I'm afraid he'll hit me. I'm afraid to talk back to him. He'll probably sue me. I'll probably never get the car fixed right again. Car repair people always rip me off. The insurance company will probably get me out of this one, and I'll be the one left holding the bag. We'll probably get out of this one. Desire. I can make a bundle on this. I think I will hold my neck and fake a whiplash. My brother-in-law is a lawyer. We'll sue the pants off this idiot. I'll get a settlement on the highest estimate and get it fixed at a cheaper place. Anger. That damned idiot. I think I'll teach this guy a lesson. He deserves a good punch in the nose. I'll sue his pants off and make him suffer. My blood is boiling. I feel shaky with rage. I could kill that bastard. Pride. Look where you're going, you fool. Oh God, the world is full of such bumbling idiots. How dare he damage my new car? Who the hell does he think he is? He's probably got cheap insurance. Thank God mine is the best. I should have been wearing the heart math monitor as I was reading these, because like can't wait till I get to the higher levels, because this is okay. Pride. I think I just did that one. Yeah. Courage. Oh well, we've both got insurance. I'll take down the data and handle it okay. A nuisance, but I can handle it. I'll talk to the driver and get it settled out of court. Neutrality. These things happen in life. You can't drive 20,000 miles a year without an occasional fender bender. Willingness. How can I help this guy calm down? He doesn't need to feel upset about it. We'll just exchange the necessary insurance information and be okay with each other. Acceptance. Could have been worse. At least nobody's hurt. It's only money anyway. The insurance company will take care of it. I suppose the guy's upset. That's only natural. Such things can't be helped. Thank God I'm not running this universe. It's only a major nuisance. Curious to hear more about Heart Math Monitor. Sounds interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll get to that. Reason. Let's be practical here. I'd like to take care of this as quickly as possible so I can get on with the day's activities. What's the most efficient way to resolve our problem? Love. I hope the guy isn't upset. I'll help him calm down, says to the other driver. Relax, it's all okay. We've both got insurance. I know how it is. It happened to me just the same way. It was a minor dent and we got it fixed in a day. Don't worry. We won't report if you don't want to. We can probably deduct it and avoid a raise in our insurance premium. There's nothing to be upset about, reassures the upset driver, putting an arm on his shoulder in fellow human camaraderie. Yeah, okay. Again, take the examples for what it's worth. I don't know about in the DC area doing that. Anyway, peace. Well, isn't that fortuitous? I was going to have the rattle in that bumper fixed anyway, and the fender already had a little dent, so now I'll get it fixed for nothing. Say, aren't you George's brother-in-law? You're just the guy I wanted to see. I have some great business I think you can handle for me. We'll both benefit. You look like the right person to research it for us. How about a cup of coffee and we can talk it over? By the way, here's my insurance card. Say, that's the same company as yours. What a coincidence. Everything is working out for the best. No problem. Walks off humming with a new friend, the incident already forgotten. Y'all get the drift. Yeah, okay. Y'all get it. Let me see how many pages are left. Okay, this is the last part, and then I'll talk a little bit about heart math. The above illustrates all that we have been saying. It is ourselves who create stressful reactions as a consequence of what we're holding within us. The suppressed feelings determine our belief systems and our perception of ourselves and others. These, in turn, literally create events and incidences in the world, events that we then turn around and blame for our reactions. This is the self-reinforcing system of illusions. This is what the enlightened sages mean when they say, we are all living in illusion, in an illusion. All that we experience are our own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs projected out onto the world, actually causing what we see to happen. So the biggest thing about that is all of them had the same experience and they all saw it a different way. Most people have experienced all the different levels of consciousness at one time or another, but in general, we tend to operate primarily at one level for another for long periods of time. Most people are preoccupied with survival in all of its subtle forms, and so they reflect primarily fear, anger, and a desire for gain. They have not learned that the state of lovingness is the most powerful of all survival tools. Interestingly, as we said in an earlier chapter, having a pet dog can lengthen a human's life by 10 years. The love, affection, caring for another being, and companionship that go along with having a dog mitigate the negative effects of stress. Love stimulates endorphins and life energy, bringing a healing balm to stress-prone lives. That is that chapter. A lot of words. Good now, Dana. No worries. You can catch all the bumbling on the replay. Good now, Chris. Who else has popped in? May, good now, love. Who did I miss? Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. So before I talk about heart math, what are y'all's thoughts about this chapter? Good now, Rhonda. Any arguments, any agreeances, any woo? Good now, Belinda. Good now, Catherine. Any thoughts? I know we're still processing. Good now, Carolyn. Explains a lot of my past pains and the life challenges. Awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad that it sheds some light on that. Yeah, when I do the ease method with you all and I'm doing energy clearing, I'm using muscle testing to test for what's weak from an unconscious, usually an unconscious belief. And I clear out that weakness. And so that you won't have the, how he say it, you won't be impacted by that thought in a negative way. I can see the accuracy in this chapter. Awesome, Madeline. Do you want to share more about that? I think this is the book where, I can't remember at this point, but I remember reading somewhere, it's either him or Eckhart Tolle probably, where it's like you can only get mad if you have suppressed anger. You can't get mad if you don't. That's kind of what this chapter is talking about. Like if you have suppressed emotions, that's what's coming up. It's not necessarily the external event that's happening. It's what you have within you. Chapters always fit right in with what is going on in my life. I'm so glad, Verna. Good, good, good. So yeah. Heart math. I actually did a demo. It's on my, I think it's on my YouTube. Part of I Am Day last year, if y'all are familiar with that, Richard Walter, who is a teacher here on IT, he created an event, I Am Day, and it's basically to raise the consciousness of people. And I did a little workshop, of course, about brains, and I animated it, and it was fun. But I also I hooked my ear up to the HeartMath software, and you could see when I started to think negative thoughts, you could see the energy levels go down, and immediately, like within a minute. And then when I changed those thoughts, you could see them rise back up within a minute. But it just measures coherence of your heart. Coherence means are things not off? Are they working together? Things, of course, as you can imagine, working together is stronger than if different parts are doing their own thing. I'll DM you about the power of the vagus nerve if that would, of course, it's too much for group chat. Yes, absolutely. There's another book that would be good, and it talks specifically about the vagus nerve. How do you muscle test on your own? I've been to kinesiology many times and read a couple of Hawkins books, but years ago. Awesome, Robert. So one way you can muscle test, good now, Carla, on your own is, well, for one, like you said, you have to be at level 200 or above. So if you're in a courageous energy level, energetically, then you can get an accurate test result. If you're in a level of guilt, it's lying to you. But to test on your own, if you make an OK, and then you try to pop it open. So if you think something really simple, something simple as your actual name, which is funny. I did that with someone. They said their actual name and they tested weak. I'm like, they don't align with their name. Usually you can test strong with your own name, and then if you call yourself something else, it'll test weak. But if you say my name is such and such and you try to pop it open, you'll feel a strength. And if you say your name is something else, you'll notice it may not pop open a lot. It may just, you can tell you feel a little bit weaker. So that's one way you can do muscle testing on your own. Chapter is spot on and resonates for me. My brother shared a scary diagnosis he received, and I stressed the importance of holding positive energy that he can overcome. It's so easy to give away your self-healing power to the doctor's interpretation. I know, right? Thank you, April, for saying that. That's true. I use the body method. Yes, you can. I don't have enough patience to use the body method, but the way to use the body method is you stand up. I probably won't be able to do this because I don't feel like standing up. I mean, not standing up. I'm not good at like noticing. But anyway, say something that's true to you and just stand and see which way your body moves. Most of the time, yes or truth, you lean forward just a little bit. Other times, when it's not truth, you lean back just a little bit. I did see someone who was the opposite of that. So do a couple of statements that are true to you and see what's consistent, and then do the opposite and see what's consistent. Most people, they'll go to the grocery store and I see them muscle testing. I don't know if you want to do the leaning method in the store. You can do what you want to do. Whichever, I do one that's like this. I put my finger on top, and when I press down, there's a difference between weak and strong. That's for me because I do it so much with people. Oh, I need to plug this up. Especially as I'm doing my clearing method, Like I don't have time to do this, and I like it, my fingers were like, okay, before I learned this, and even this can sometimes get tiring to the finger. Okay, what did I miss? Uh, Soul says found a wealth of info at Dr. John. I love how you did this. drjohndiamond.com. Yes, about behavioral kinesiology. That sounds amazing. I would love to read that. I feel like I've read some of those things, but yes, please send it to me, Soul. Carla says maybe they changed their name. I know, right? I have known people who do that because they want to dissociate from their past or upbringing. Very true. Very true. That, or they hadn't and they just don't identify with that name. I'm like, is that a past life thing or is that a current life thing? But yes, thank you, Carla, for that. I love to use pendulums as well and as muscle testing. Yes, I have pendulums. They're all upstairs though. And you can do the same thing. A pendulum is like the body method. You say something that's true for you, and it'll swing a certain way. That'll be your yes. Or you ask it a question, yes or no questions, and that'll be a yes. And then ask a no question or have a no, something that's a no, and it'll swing a different way without you doing anything. You're just holding your hand still, and it'll just move. And it's so fascinating to see. You're welcome, Robert. I just tested breakfast coffee, ice cream versus eggs and ice cream. The ice cream won. See, that's to my point about like if you have a positive feeling about something that is not always your healthiest choice, like, and you does your body interpret it that way? And like, how does, I'm so curious about that. Ice cream always wins, Jamie. I love it. I love it. That's funny. So yeah, when you do muscle testing, make sure you don't feel any shame at the moment, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. What was the next one? Desire, anger, or pride. If you're feeling any one of those, I would not suggest trusting the muscle test result. It needs to be really neutral for the most part. I mean, he says to be at the level of courage, but have a neutral expectation. It's okay if it does, if it's okay if it doesn't. If it's okay, it's a yes. If you find that the response that you get is not what you wanted, that also tells you something. Like, I was hoping this was a yes, but it ended up being a no. That also gives you something to explore. I raise the vibration of the food, before I eat it and use testing to confirm. Yes, I've witnessed that. Thank you, Rhonda. How on earth do you not feel all of that? all of what, Flora? I think I was gifted with being able to hold people's energy and not absorb people's energy, which is why coaching the thing is you should. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Not feel when you test. Oh, I think, well, once you're, if you're operating at one of the higher levels of consciousness on a regular basis, and then you find yourself in a lower state of consciousness, you recognize it right away. And once you get to those higher states of consciousness, you don't have all that suppressed stuff within you helping create those feelings. And so you are able to be more neutral about things. And you get to a place where it's okay either way. And you're not attached to the outcome. It takes some cultivating to do that. I can't say that I've perfected it, but I've gotten pretty good. So that's how you do that. Yeah. I tend to absorb others' energy, and some folks drain me instantly. Yeah, I get that. It takes a lot to get me drained, and I think it's just by design, which is why I do the work that I do. I'm able to hold a lot of space, and I love it. I love doing that. You're welcome, Flora. Yeah, keep letting stuff go, releasing stuff, doing the ease method. I do one-on-one sessions. I do hear sometimes when it feels like it needs to be done for the collective. Um, yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there. Madeline. Any other thoughts, questions on this chapter? Next week is the relationship between mind and body. That is a wonderful gift. Many energy light workers tend to hold others' energy. Yes, Jamie, correct. You're right. And I agree. I didn't even realize that people experienced that until I started doing more of this work. And I'm like, oh, that happens. It happens if I do I can't do more than like 5 individual energy sessions with people. After that, I'm like spent. But if I'm having just regular coaching conversations without the energy clearing, I can coach a lot more to help change perspectives and perceptions and things like that. I can work with a lot more people. But when I'm doing specific energy work, I've found that my max tends to be, it's 5 when I'm at events. So I've never done that many back to back at just here in my home where it's a lot less energy. At events, you've got everybody's energy and you're like working with that individual person's energy. So that's probably why it's just 5. At home, when I'm doing one-on-one sessions, I'm usually, they're spaced out and they're usually throughout the week as opposed to back to back on a single day. Yes, absolutely. I had to learn to intentionally let it flow through and out. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to share how you learned how to do that, Madeline? Some people may need that. Good now, Kristen, with that puppy. That puppy caught my eye. Puppies will always catch my eye. And kitty cats, but mostly puppies. Good now, Laurel. Haley says, yes, please share. If you have, good now, V. Dr. V, one each. Good now, Jonah. Good now, Jeffrey. I need to put a link in my bio so people can just join the live and come talk on the camera. Susie, good now, love. Jilsa, good now, love. April says, and it helps to remember carrying others' energy does not serve them well. Yes, we enable and disempower others when we do that. I love that. The puppy. That's so sweet, Chris. I love that. Thank you. Good now, Violet. Did I miss anyone? Trina, good now, Trina. How did I miss you? I feel like I've seen your bubble and thought I said good now to you. Good now, Jude. Sherry, good now, love. It's like I recognize that flower. Good now, Anne. Good now, Deb. And Angie. And Madeline, I know we put you on a spot. If that is not a thing right now, that is totally okay. You can send it to me privately and I'm happy to share it as well. And anyone else too, if anyone, good now, Debu. If anyone else has learned to transmute others' energy, feel free to share your experience and what you've done. Anna says, hello, Nicole. May have missed this, but you talk about doing the work. What are your favorite ways to raise your vibration? I use my energy clearing method a lot, and I recognize that thoughts are energy. And so if I notice that I have low energy and I'm like, that is not how I want to feel, and I find ways to think of something that brings me up. In the past, it was hard for me to do that because I was a very pessimistic person. I sounded like a lot of those lower energy ones that I was reading earlier. But as you learn how energy works and how thoughts and perceptions can shift your energy, you tend to do that more consciously, especially if you catch when you're not in that space. Or if you're not in that space and, you know, like for me, the hormonal thing the week before the bleed, there's almost nothing I can do. I'm just exhausted and I just come to a place of acceptance. So acceptance is also a high vibrational energy. You're not trying to change anything. You're just like, this is what it is. This is where we're at. I'm not going to try to fix, because there's nothing to fix. This is the reality of this particular situation. So that is also actually a high vibrational. There's a difference between acceptance and apathy. Apathy is like you just gave up. Acceptance is like, which is how I say good now. Good now is accepting what is in this moment, giving it permission to exist, and bring myself back to the present moment. Not adding any commentary to how I'm feeling, not trying to explain it away or blame it on anything. That's how you can continue to keep your vibrations raised. Thank you for that question. I hope that helped. Kristen, I wish I've been listening to this chapter since chapter 1. Well, it is on my YouTube channel, so you're welcome to binge listen chapters 1 through 13 rather. And then feel free on the channel too, if you, after you've listened to chapter 1 or whatever, you can ask any questions or share any commentary that comes to mind as you listen to it. I always respond to YouTube comments. Let's see. Good now, Brenda. Let's see who else. Jamie says, Madeline, me too. I had no idea I was holding so much. When I started deep release work, it took over a year to truly feel lighter. It felt like I was getting nowhere, but I just kept trusting the process. That is a huge thing, Jamie. Thank you for sharing that. That is absolutely true. Just like baby steps. So I feel like for me with transcendental meditation, that's how I feel. Like there's so many studies around it and how it raises your level of consciousness permanently. It feels like nothing's happening, but that's not true. I have noticed subtle differences like right away, but I'm like, but when I get to the next state of consciousness, I'm trusting the process. Continue to do it. You may not always see or notice anything changing, but it's changing. First of all, it took long time to get that way, so it's not necessarily going to happen like that. It's the same thing with changing any habit, really. You may not notice the effects right away, but knowing that shift is doing something can help keep you inspired and motivated. Let's see. Ocean shares, I'm newly working with children in teaching capacity. I'm struggling as the energy is so intense and so draining, and I'm teaching them meditation, but it's so many dysregulated children. I do inner loving parent grounding techniques for myself before I go in, but I'm so exhausted after engaging that I just do self-care. That sounds like a lot, Ocean, especially if you're doing groups of children all over the place and dysregulated. I love that you add some extra reinforcement for yourself before you go in. You may have to continually add reinforcement throughout those sessions. See if that could help. And then do you do an energy release at the end of the day, or are you just like too exhausted to do any of that? And if anyone has any suggestions, please do share with Ocean. I am not a kids teacher. Anna said acceptance. Yes. Madeline says teachers for learning to let energy to flow through. For example, Has Sadegi, Vivian Gerard, Shannon Sullivan, Joy Truscott. I think I'm following Joy. Thank you for that, Madeline. I'll capture this. For anyone who's not familiar, I do have a group here on Insight Timer. So I'm going to add this to the group, and I will also add it to the Lettuce Fam doc. Thank you, Madeline, for that. Because these are all IT teachers, right, Madeline? I know Joy is. And if anyone's wondering what the heck I'm talking about when I talk about the Lettuce Family doc, if you go to the link in my profile, you will see a document or a little icon that says Let Us Relate, as aptly named by Miss Rhonda. I can pull it up. This is what it'll look like when you open it. Okay, yes, this document has tabs. Thank you. No, thank you. Okay. close the tabs. And on here, this is what the first page looks like. If you look at the tabs, I have all kinds of stuff. Where some of our Lettuce Fam, which Lettuce Fam is all of you lovely souls, have appearances or features, book recommendations which have come from you all, causes, energetic prayers which may be helpful for some of you highly sensitive energy folks. Some of our family members have businesses. I share that. Grounding rituals, jokes, which I haven't populated late yet. So yeah, if you open it up on mobile, these will be at the bottom of the screen. So you just scroll through that way. So I'm going to add the teachers shared by Madeline somewhere around here. I'll figure out. I might have to add another tab, like Insight Timer Teachers or something. But yeah, that's in my bio. The link in my bio. I had a QR code, but it's on another profile. Okay. And I know I've got to catch up on chat. 1 second. Okay. What do y'all say? Remember, you're not a vessel. Vessels hold things. Think about vase. And channel or a tube has holes on both ends and things go through. I love that imagery. Rhonda, thank you. Brenda, the book is, so we're reading a chapter a week and it has 21 chapters. So we'll start chapter 15 next week. Do I have it scheduled? In theory, we'll start chapter 15 next week. Yes, okay. So it'll go another 6 weeks, if I'm adding correctly. Kayla Mason, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You're such a blessing, Nicole. Thank you so much for your generous offering. You're so welcome, love. Madeline says, Jamie, yes, exactly, 100%. Nicole, yes, I trust the process was my mantra of 2024 to 2025, and it's still a main motto over here. I love that. Jamie says, I think I was 1.5 to 2 years in until I felt big shifts. Love it. I will say, too, I did feel shifts when I first started learning Transcendental Meditation, but I have been doing it now 2 years? 3 years. I think it'll be 3 years this December. And that's when I noticed big shifts in several areas of my life. So yes, it takes some time, especially if you've been through a lot in life, for your nervous system to fully start to regulate. Let's see. Thank you, Madeline. IT teacher's great. Ocean says, I don't. I'm open to it. I need to let go of it as I'm bringing in home. Yeah, with me. Yeah, bringing it home with me. And it's causing PTSD responses. Yeah, that's not helpful for sure. You definitely don't want that, because then you'll be also transferring that energy to them. Yeah, I would say before you even leave get into your car, clear it. In the Lettuce Fam doc, there is a prayer of release. I call it, it's under the grounding rituals. No, it's under energetic prayers. And you can release the energy. And there's also one of protection, both courtesy of Miss Rhonda. Erica says, I taught Enemy for 28 years and taught my classes energy for 28 years, and I taught my classes meditation for like 10 years. I love that. I love that, Erica. Thank you for sharing. If you have any insights you can share with our beautiful teachers here, feel free to post that, and I'll add it to the Lettuce family. There's words in there somewhere. Doc. Ocean, I use a few techniques to not take on their energy, and it can help a lot. Yeah, Rhonda is a teacher of the kids as well. Erica says, Ocean, grounding in the morning and a protection prayer is beneficial. The energy is a daily roller coaster. You have to ride it like a wave. Meditation on your own is also key. The more times a day, the better. Love it, Erica. Thank you. You already you already did what I was like, ooh, if you want to share more. What's the name of your YouTube channel? It is Antara Mastery. I am this everywhere on all social. Whether I have a lot of stuff on social is a different story. Elementary. Thank you, Erica taught elementary for 28 years. Wow, that's amazing. Good now, Leon. Good now, Queen and family. I love it. Oh, thank you, Soul. Awesome. And you can find the link in my profile as well. And you have all the chapters we've read. Every morning I meditate live on here, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. It's also captured. So if you're not up at that time, no matter what time zone you're in, and you kind of want to meditate with a collective, that is also a good way. Even though we're not live, there's still a sense or feeling of meditating with the collective. So that's on the channel as well. All of my IT talks are on the channel as well, because I stream it so that you can catch them if you miss them. You're welcome. So welcome. Speaking of things that you'll be able to catch on the channel, next Sunday I have a special guest on Tips Over Tea, which will be here. We'll be here on IT 1010, and of course it's streamed to other platforms. And also, if you have, like, I feel like Erica, Ocean, Madeline, Jamie, y'all all have stuff that y'all can share, that Rhonda, that people would benefit from hearing about. Some of anything that you care to share, things you've had challenges and how you overcame them, what sort resources you use. That's what these conversations are about. And so just bring your tea. If you would like to join us, bring your tea, bring your notebook, and just listen in. Bring a friend if you would like. That is Tips Over Tea. I do it once a month right now, because I didn't want to burn myself out. I used to do it weekly. Whew, that was a lot. Organizing and plans. Yeah, it was a lot. So right now it's just once a month. It may go to twice a month, but that probably would be the most. So that's next week. And then the week after that, the Friday, or that following Friday, I do have Permission to Crown Yourself. I did this before, and it got really good feedback. So I'm going to do it again a couple more times, and I'll be doing it live at a retreat. I was invited to do this workshop at a retreat in September. So it would be awesome to have you attend, even if just for some positive feedback, so I can make sure the ladies that I'll teach it to in person just have an extra wonderful experience. So I'll probably be doing this particular workshop once a month until September, just so I can get really, really good at it. Just wanted to send some hearts back, so thank you. I've done it live several times, and I know it a lot, but I did change the curriculum a little bit. If you want to join, that would be awesome. If you want to pre-register, a link in my bio. I always make a workbook or a journal with everything that I teach, and except reading the books. So if you do pre-register with the link in my bio, you'll get a 20-minute session with me, private, and you'll get the workbook for free. So that's just an option to do that. I had one person register, so I'll get that information to her. Otherwise, you can just show up on the 22nd at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we'll just have a great conversation. That's what's coming up in the next week. So let me catch up on this charlar to chat in Spanish. I know I said that horribly. Katie, good now, Katie. Ocean, in my daily work experience with highly dysregulated children, I'm learning to watch more in the moment and wonder less about why they're screaming or frying or throwing things, etc. It helps me to keep that energy out of me. That's awesome, Katie. Thank you. Madeline says, Ocean, set the intention before, when you feel centered and grounded, to bring all of your energy into your body fully, like you're a glass or a vase, like Rhonda said, of water full to the top. And then set the intention to keep your energy in your body through the day. Imagine that you seal your feet, soles, and hands so that Every time the chat, someone adds a chat, it moves. So that you can stay in your energy without taking on others. That I learned from Vivian Girard. Personally, I find it additionally helpful to imagine that I have a filter that lets others' energy to simply flow through me while keeping my energy in. And instead of sending energy to others, I intend and imagine that I am a channel for chi, light, life force energy, whatever it is, and maybe if it's aligned, it gets a flavor of my energy. Does that description make sense to you? It makes absolute perfect sense, and I'm going to add that to the family document if you're open to that, with your permission, of course. And KD, I appreciate that as well, what you shared, because that can happen. That can drain energy. It's like, why is this happening? And you can't, that question will never be answered. Y'all already know I don't like the why question anyway, because that question can never be answered. It's never rational, because it's usually your unconscious doing something that your conscious is like, I have no idea what I don't know. I got nothing. Rana says, Ocean, you can also buy or use clearing spray in your room. The one I created always makes the really bad energy leave the room almost immediately. That means they walk out or skip my class, but I work with high school. Thank you. It was perfect, Madeline. I love it. Erica says, that's beautiful. Moving to a state of observation has been life-changing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all. I appreciate that. I will add that to the Let Us Fam doc. And for anyone who's just joining us, you can find that document in my profile, the link in my profile, entitled Let Us Relate. And if you have any questions, my DMs here are open. Feel free to, look, we're at 1 hour and 11 minutes on the Tube channel. Anyway, you can always message me, or you can reach out in the group as well that I have here on IT. So thank you all for your absolute beautiful wisdom and questions and all the things. Also learned lots about energy flow from Helen Hansen and Addison D. Hilster. Got it. I will add that to the teacher list. Thank you, my love. Awesome, awesome. Unsure about the spelling of last teacher. No worries, I can find it, I'm sure. Thank you, I appreciate the resources. So I will add that. I'll add a tab called Insight Timer Teachers. She does Qigong live here on Sundays. I love that. I'm usually catching up on schoolwork on Sundays, but I'll look for her, because that's the two things I want. Qigong and Tai Chi are two of my favorite energy moving things. I don't call them an exercise, but practice. I'll say practice. And then yoga, of course. Thank you. I appreciate that, Madeline. Madeline's putting in the work. Awesome. Good now, Catherine and Debbie and Rochelle. Hopefully I said good now to everyone. Oh, Patrice. I won't say Patricia. Petria. Good now, love. Who do you follow for Qigong? Good now, Michelle. Are you asking me, Deb? I actually hadn't found one yet. But Addison, is that the one, Madeline? Addison's the one that does the Qigong? I follow Jen Knox for the Tai Chi. Good now, love. I do not practice Reiki yet. I will be learning it, though. Good now, Deb K. You're welcome, love. Good now, Chandra. My energy clearing method is different. Good now, Sylvia. It does what this book is saying, letting go of the unconscious, subconscious things. Although this book is like when things come into your awareness. My energy clearing clears out stuff that you may not recognize is there. It's the invisible wall you keep running into, and you're like, what? I'm consciously trying to do this, but something keeps blocking me from doing this, and I can't figure it out. And it doesn't even have to be a physical thing. It could be feelings, relationships, whatever. That's what my energy method does. So this is a good in-between ease clearing sessions for sure. And the ease will actually help you start to recognize. If you've been one who's been a very strong person all of your life and you don't even recognize when you're having strong emotions because you're so used to pushing through, the ease will the ease will bring all of that out for you, and you'll hate and love me at the same time. And then you can do more of the letting go method because you'll start to recognize actually feeling stuff. Um, so yeah. Ooh, thank you, Soul. Does Qigong from Iceland. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yay, I love this, being able to add a teacher's list for what they do. Awesome. Yes, correction. Monday is Qigong with Addie DeHilster. It's the night between Monday to Tuesday for Central Europe. So Monday evening in the US. Awesome. Thank you. Good now, Daphne. Thank you. Thank you. Checked your calendar. I love it. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will add it in the group, and I will add it to the Lettuce Fam doc, so it's there. Marquetta Fo's a great IT teacher for Qigong work. Thank you. I love that she got 2 shout outs. KD and Soul both say Qigong. Marquetta Foley for Qigong. 2 endorsements, I should say. Good now, Edgar. I love this. What I also love about this is I get to reach out to them and say, like, hey, your name was mentioned for this. I just want to celebrate you for that. They'll probably be like, who are you? But it's okay. I like sharing. I love celebrating people. I love seeing people win. I love when people help people and change people's lives. So I'll reach out to them and be the goofy self that I am and just let them know that they are impacting people. Because a lot of times people don't think to tell teachers that they are impacting them. So I want to let these folks know that they have really impacted people and their names have been mentioned. Yes, sharing is caring. Sometimes. If you're sick, no sharing. You got my permission to add my contributions. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you. Awesome. Helen Hansen is brilliant kinesiologist. Ooh. Got it. Thank you, ma'am. Oop. I try not to do that because it stays in your ear. Kinesiologist. Yeah, that word. Okay. They'll appreciate it. I hope so. I'm sure. It just feels good to know that your support, your work is doing exactly what you hope it to do. So I think so too. Thank you, Dana. Yay. The donation people are here picking up stuff. All right. Are there any more thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Regular live sessions, and also works with archetypes. Ooh, contemplation, archetypal psychology. Ooh, I love it. Is that Helen as well? Madeline, they should be paying you for your advertisements, your advertisements. Got you. Thank you. I'm gonna be like, y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to give Madeline a complimentary session. She didn't do this for that. She did it for the love of y'all and the support you do, but she's giving y'all big love. I love this. I love this so much. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Teachers captured. Well, not them, but good now, Osaya. I receive so much wisdom and give the love freely. I appreciate that. I get it. I love it. It's so beautiful. You should come on Tips Over Tea if you would, if that's of interest. Yeah. Any other thoughts, comments on the chapter, the conversation we've just had? Questions? Because if not, are you complete for this moment? You missed it? You know where it is, though, my love. On the tubular. We just had a PD for all staff on how to support our autistic. I know what SPED stands for, but can you spell it out for me, please? Students. It was notable how many staff have to learn to not take kids' behavior personally. That's key too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kids, people in general, special ed, thank you. Definitely kids, but also just adults, anybody. That is one of the other things someone, when you're asking me about keeping vibrations high, that's one of the things. I like to use the example, like I've had someone sitting in front of me and they said, it was something about a fear of abandonment. Like they didn't want to speak up for themselves because they didn't want that person to leave, right? Oh, thank you, Deb. And I asked that person, have you ever stopped associating with someone yourself? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, I said, she said, yes, because something for my health or something. I was like, exactly. It wasn't personal to them. It was you taking care of you. So if someone does something, it's really, and it's a reflection of them and their thought processes and their perceptions and all of that. So if you can get to a place where you recognize that, you may even feel like it's personal initially, but if you've practiced the standing back and observing the situation, then you can come to a place of a higher vibration quicker because you recognize it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. Because even if you were the one that triggered it, it's still a them thing. There are things that you may want to consider about yourself, like if you tend to come off harsh or whatever. Yes, that part is a you thing, but their response is a them thing. It's something within them that they may want to consider working on. So, okay, let's see. Madeline says, Nicole, when Violet 108 asked for teachers some months ago, I recommended her to bring you on a panel soon again. Oh, thank you, Madeline. I appreciate that. We'll be doing, when is our next one? If y'all were there with me, Matt, Sam, and Violet, I know we'll be doing that in a couple months as well. We're looking at doing it quarterly. It was requested that we do it monthly, but Matt was like, I can't handle monthly. We're like, that's not a problem. Please do take care of you. But thank you. I appreciate that. She did invite me to one panel, but I was doing a live at the same time or right before it, and I was like, I don't know if I would have the energy. So thank you for that recommendation. Katie says that was discussed because there are many undiagnosed adults or folks who present that profile. Exactly, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good now, Leon. Thank you. So yeah, that's that part. All of that. I hope this has been helpful, reassuring, confirming, inspiring, all the things. But yeah, are we all complete? And thank you for the love. I appreciate it. PD, professional development session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know in project management world, a PD position description. and so many things with acronyms that are saying. Thank you, Katie. Complete? All right, Rhonda, thank you. I'm going to take Rhonda's comment for everyone, unless there are any arguments. Denise, thank you. I love it. Hey. Okay. I'm working on it. It's got a little bit. It's a little bit. Will there be a replay recording? There is, Deb, it's on my tube channel, Antara Mastery. You can find the link in my profile here, or if you want, you can search YouTube. This has a whole playlist of its own. So all the chapters that have been read thus far are there, and this one will be there as soon as we hang up here. Robert asks, is kinesiology a one-size-fits-all? I've been diagnosed as on the autistic spectrum last year. Can it still work? That is a good question and something I would love to research. I feel like it still could work. I don't see why it wouldn't, because it's energy, period. Energy is energy, and it's not something that you're consciously perceiving. It's something that is energetically being perceived, if that makes sense. So you don't have to think about it. Your body's going to respond. But I cannot say that with absolute certainty because I've not studied that. And I appreciate you sharing that. What's next week's please got here after the reading? Next week is the relationship between mind and body. And Robert, that actually may answer some questions for you as well. But the relationship between mind and body. Awesome sauce. I know, right? I'm excited. All right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to prepare myself to head to downtown DC. Somatic stuff. I love somatic stuff. Yes. Again, I am on a panel at noon Eastern. It's free if you would like to attend. The link is in my bio. It is about digital toxicity and mental health. It'll be me and two professional TV reporters that are on the panel. And yeah, it'll be a good conversation. It's not about teaching, it's about sharing experience like y'all have been doing here so that people can recognize something within us that's in them and hopefully take that feeling and information and help themselves with it. I'm in. Might bring my mom. Oh, do it. Rock it out, Nicole. Thank you. Yep, it is a free conversation. You can find it in my. If you go to my bio here, go to about and click that link. It is the first link there. I put it at the top so it'd be easy to find. It's called. I don't remember how I labeled it. I think I called it digital toxicity or something. Yeah, digital toxicity and mental health panel. So you can find that first link in my bio. Dis-ease equals disease. Yes, it's important to be easy and have grace with ourselves. Abso-stinking-lutely. It is. And if it's not easy, it's okay. The fact that you recognize that is step one. The fact that you recognize that you're not giving yourself grace, step one. The next step is not beating yourself up about it, but celebrating the fact that you recognized it. And then at that moment, give yourself some grace for not giving yourself grace. That is how it starts to shift out of that. Changes your whole chemical makeup, little by little. So, good now, Paul. All right. If that is all, then thank you so much for all of your shares. Very insightful. I will add them to the Lettuce Family Doc. I'll add the teacher information also to the group I have here on IT. Feel free to reach out with any questions, comments, concerns. If you catch the replays on the tube, feel free to respond to any of those videos. I will respond to you. If you have any questions or comments, I will respond. I have those alerts set up. And yes, V, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all who mother. That is the perfect way to say it. And big love to those who have either lost mother or child, because I know that also can be a hard time as well. You need to share the grace comment you just said to the Lettuce Doc. Okay, I'll have to go back and watch the replay. You know what happens when spirit comes through and I'm just the conduit. I don't even know what I said. So I'll watch the replay and I'll get it. Thank you. It's also lived experience, that I will say. Something I had to create, cultivate, make a decision to be, and work at it constantly. I love rhyming. Okay, my loves, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I really, really do celebrate you for showing up for you. This is not easy work. I was like, these balloons are going to come up. This is not easy work. So thank you for doing it. Jamie says, catching internal negativity in the moment and rerouting it is the beautiful beginning of big changes. Yes, that is what I said in a different way. I'm going to capture it. I'll add both because some will resonate with others and others will resonate with some. Don't ask where that came from. I'm got nothing. Y'all have met me. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Jamie. Have a great talk, Nicole. Thank you, Daphne. I will. I'm excited. It'll be a good conversation. Thank you so much, Nicole. Everyone celebrate and embrace your health. Absolutely. Thank you, Soul. Katie says, yes, Jamie. All right, my loves. Well, I will see you around the app. If I don't see you on Monday morning, I'll see you around. Thank you for being here. Drink some water. Love yourself, as Soul says. Always such a pleasure to be here with you. Likewise, Jamie, with you all. Just want to know it's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody. All right. Later for now. Yes, later for now. Ciao for now. May you all create the most amazing now moments until I see you next time. Make every moment count. With big love to yourself. Jai Guru Dev. Mwah. Ciao for now. Peace, love, and I think she said sparkles. It went away too quickly. All right, my loves, whoever's on another platform, thank you so much for being here. I hope you got a lot out of the session, and I will catch up with you later. Feel free to add any comments or questions, and I will respond. So, ciao for now. Well, only on YouTube. I won't see them on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn. I'll see them on YouTube, though. So, ciao for now.